Welcome, everyone, to episode 70 of Around the Book podcast. This week, we got national championship college football of the never-ending college football season, it seems like. And then we have the divisional round in the NFL. Before we get to those picks, though, let's get into a little bit of what's been going on last weekend. And Dalton, go ahead and take away how you feel about last weekend of betting and sports in general.
So 0-2 on college, and mostly upset about that Penn State game. It truly is the hope that kills you. And I really kept tempered expectations most of the year, and then the first quarter of that Penn State Notre Dame game, I was like, "Shit, Penn State's a better team. They're gonna do this. They're going to the national championship for the first time in my life." And then I don't know. I don't know.
We had
what
two
happened.
Jakes for a second there, guys.
Yeah.
We cloned them.
My Wi-Fi completely just took a dump for like 2 minutes.
Okay, cool. Anyway,
But yeah,
I'm over here.
I like the two me's though. That was interesting.
Yeah.
Very dog good.
But yeah, just our playing. Like the worst part about it is you couldn't even get upset with James Franklin. It wasn't even like they lost because it was a typical James Franklin game. They lost because Drew Aller played the worst game of his college career, and the wide receivers just didn't exist for whatever reason, and also a dude fell on defense. Like that was it. Even if the dude doesn't fall, they still probably win the game.
They probably win. Yeah.
And oh my god, I just that's one of those games that makes you feel like your team's never gonna get there.
Yeah. I can't believe Notre Dame is in the national championship.
Yeah.
I know.
It's kind of crazy to think about.
I'm not going to lie. It's making me nervous as an Ohio State fan because I'm just like, everyone is just like saying they're just going Notre Dame's going to get their ass beat. And I'm just like, let's hold on. It is.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like
making me nervous.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah. We'll talk about it.
We'll get there. But as someone who covers Penn State and I'm watching that game, it's fine. I don't really care. When I say I don't really care, I don't mean to just throw it in your face, Dalton. But I'm gonna have content about it no matter what. I'm good. But it was really rough to watch Miller fall, especially on that touchdown. Be like, man, dude, straight ate it in the middle of the field. He's never gonna forget that one for as long as he lives. He could have 2 interceptions for a touchdown in the championship game next year. They could get to the national title. He could be the player of the game in that game, and he will never forget just eating shit in the middle of the field trying to cover a receiver who I couldn't tell you his name right now, frankly. I don't remember what his name is. But it's tough, stuff happens. Oh, yeah, Great House, yeah. Which, great name. Yeah. Great name.
Yeah.
No, but, yeah, Aller took a dump in the middle of the field for some reason. Not sure what that was about.
Missed a lot of throws.
That was bad.
Missed a lot of throws. Couldn't even successfully dump the ball into the middle of the field where no one could catch it. Just a bad night at the office, basically, for him. So, yeah, for Penn State folks, sorry to hear it, basically.
Yeah. I know I probably jinxed it, but I remember when Penn State went up 10-0 and I went into the group chat and was like, damn, this was such an easy win. I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry. Dude, okay. That was...
I forgot you even did that. I don't think I even noticed that.
I was like, I don't give a shit what anyone's saying. I'm not paying attention to that.
I don't know if I said anything.
Now I'm mad about it.
And I immediately was like, it's going to be so tough if Penn State
lose. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Trust tree right now. Can I be honest? After they lost, I texted Jake and I was like, nice win. But I messaged him separately because I didn't want to do it while you guys were sad.
That Notre,
I was fine.
But that Notre Dame -1.5 did come through.
Because he was the only one. He was the only one that covered on that game, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think I hit the over on that game too.
Yeah.
That was a good night for me.
Jake's like, yeah, man, it was awesome. I'm gonna die.
Who would have thought the over would have fucking hit in that game?
No,
It wasn't
I
good
didn't.
for most of
No.
the game, and then all of a sudden they're like, "How many touchdowns can we score in this
It
quarter?"
took
Yeah.
somebody
Yeah.
falling down and
Yeah,
the last
It
second
took-
field goal.
Yeah, and then both defenses were like, "All right, you want some turnovers? Here we go." And then like the defense is just ramped up. Like,
Riley Leonard and Jarrell's having a mid-off for most of the second
Yeah.
half,
Yeah.
throwing the ball to like deny Dennis Sutton for no apparent reason. Great
Yeah.
play
That
by him,
was
by the way.
hilarious.
Best play of the night. I'm like, that's not number 33, right? There's no way it's number 3, right? Not 33. I'm like, holy shit, he made the best play on the ball all night for anybody. Goddamn. No, it was a fun game to watch though, for the most part.
but hey, the running backs are coming back.
Damn
That's
near
good.
everybody's coming back apparently.
Yeah,
Which
Except Bill Carter. So
is
yeah.
Franklin selling people and coming back to win a natty? Is that a
Hey,
thing that's happening?
if he's
He
doing
might
that,
be
good for
because
him, man.
It has to
Good
be.
for
Yeah.
him.
hey, I mean, you
Yeah.
gotta give it credit. Getting
Yeah.
like the playoffs are totally different now. So I mean, getting to the semis is hard. Like,
True.
no matter what, I mean, the Big Ten in general just cleaned up.
Now they just need to add like 6 receivers and
Yeah.
figure out a way to create
Throw the
Tyler
ball.
Warren in the aggregate, you know?
Yeah,
Try to figure
I
out
mean,
how
I
to do
think
that.
I think they'll do that with the tight ends
Probably.
behind him. Like the
Probably.
tight
I
ends
do like
behind him.
I like tight ends. Yeah, they're good. But still, it's just like
But-
that's funny. They're gonna be like, we can build him in the aggregate. Like
Yeah.
this was, go to the next be like, how many tight ends can I get? How many
But yeah.
positions can you play?
is Penn
does
State
help
ever
that-
just? Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say it does help that Aller pretty much has to come back now because I don't know if he'd be a
Yeah.
day 2 pick after that.
No, I think he'd be really selling hard. Like, guys, you know, I'm 20, man. I'm 20. It's fine. No, it's just go back to school, man.
He'd still go number 3 to the Giants, but
Probably,
that's a
yeah.
lot
But
of-
I don't think he should want to, honestly. Yeah, I don't know.
All right. Well, that's enough of last week. Anyone else? Well, actually, anyone else have anything from last week?
Just shout out real quick to the Chargers and Vikings for just shitting the bed and killing my parlay.
Yeah.
Went 4 for 6.
Yeah,
The
I got
Chargers
shit
and
on
the
really
Chargers.
hard. I was 1-5. Bucks let me down really hard. Packers didn't even put up. Granted, they had 3 receivers on the roster by the end of the game, so that's part of the problem. But they
Yeah.
let me down. Bills are the only ones who showed up for me, man. They beat the shit out of the Broncos, and that's about all I had right. Even the Steelers couldn't cover plus 9.5, guys.
I know.
Plus 9, come on.
I came on this show last week and I was like, really, guys, 9.5, and apparently, like,
Derrick Henry's still
That's
running
perfect.
right now.
Yeah.
He hasn't stopped running yet. He's still out there somewhere. He's doing laps. And
They
Patrick
caught
Queen
him.
is on his 12th IV, apparently.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw that. Apparently, he had like 4 IVs before the game so he could play.
Yeah.
I'm like, maybe don't play.
Yeah.
If you need 4 IVs, maybe, I don't know. Maybe don't play then. But whatever.
You need some milk.
Something. So, yeah, I got basically just completely shit on in the playoffs last week. So, hopefully, I'm better this time. I can't go 1-5. There's not enough games. There's that. That's pretty much all I'm hoping for this time. So,
All right. So, let's get into the one game that we have in college football of the never-ending college football season. We have Ohio State, who's ranked 8th, at Notre Dame, who is, what are they, 6th?
seed wise, but I think they were
Yeah.
like 3 and 6 ranking in the actual
Yeah.
ranking, something like that. I forget what
Yeah.
State was.
We'll go based off the seeding of the
All right.
of the tournament. We'll say so 8 versus 6 or whatever it is. Who would have thought that? I thought it was going to be one of those years where all 4 number ones, maybe a number 2, sneak into the Final Four, and we're all just like, oh, this is pointless to have 12 teams this year. But I think this is kind of like cemented that the 12 team was perfect for this year. I mean, we had so many teams that, like, imagine, like, would Ohio State, Notre Dame even made it into the tournament?
Notre Dame might have. They might have.
Yeah, Notre Dame. Okay,
Ohio
Notre
State
Dame might
might
have.
have.
Ohio State would probably not would have been in that that 4.
No, they would not.
So, I mean, it's awesome to see, like, this tournament providing some sort of positive outcome. But let's
Maybe
get into
for some of us.
For some of
KC?
us, yes.
Casey
like I
loves the 12-team
He
playoff,
loves
right?
it.
Yeah, I love the 12-team playoff right now. But
I mean, I enjoyed it. I had hope for
Yeah,
once.
me
Like
too.
I
I
thought it was great.
That's
actually,
true. That's true.
for the
You
first
gave him
time in my
hope.
life, for the first time since 2005, I actually thought Penn State might win a national championship.
Yeah, and even
And-
though they both got slaughtered by Penn State, it was nice to see like Boise and SMU get to play playoff games too. I like
yeah,
this is like the first chance to see smaller schools play.
yeah.
That big of a stage, yeah. This is very cool.
And like
And
one year,
They were both
those
shook,
teams
but
will pull off an upset. Like it will happen.
It
Yeah,
will,
that's what I'm saying.
sure.
Like, one of these teams is like one of these smaller teams that always ends up undefeated at the end of the season will, like Dalton said, make a
At
run.
least a final, like a semifinal
Yeah.
or something at some point, yeah.
Yeah,
So
but
yeah, I like it.
so Ohio State at Notre Dame. I'm just taking Ohio State minus 8.5 in this game. This game does make me nervous. Just because everyone is saying Ohio State, Ohio State, Ohio State, they're just going to steamroll Notre Dame. Notre Dame can't find anything to compete, but they didn't make it to the national championship for no reason. I will say that, and they still had to play the game. So if Ohio State can drown out the noise and not get unfocused on the goal here, I think they should cover minus 8.5. But I'm cautiously optimistic about this game.
Yeah, I'm also taking Ohio State minus 8.5. As much as it pains me, I just think I've been wrong. Now, to be fair, I've been wrong betting on Notre Dame, betting against Notre Dame all year, and they do give off like a little bit of Team of Destiny vibes, but they had a very close game that they really probably didn't expect to win in the semifinal, and I think there's a big hangover coming. I don't see how you can't go through the emotional highs and lows of that game, come out with the win, and finally get back to the national championship game for the first time in this is Notre Dame's first time since like the BCS, right?
I think
they
since
were-
2012.
Yeah.
something
Was
like
that the year that they
Or
went
did
and played at
they
Alabama?
make it
And got
during the 14?
murdered.
I don't know if they made it during the 14, but I know the last time they were in the title game was
Yeah.
2012, I think it was.
2012,
They
I think that was
Yeah,
the
Bama
They
or
got
something?
Maybe
slaughtered by
year.
the one of the McCarran years, I think it was. So, anyway, I'm taking the minus 8.5 too. I think specifically the problem for Notre Dame ultimately is they had to play an ugly game against Penn State to win, and I don't think they can play the same brand of football against Ohio State and win. I just don't think they can. Like, I don't think Howard's going to shit his pants the way Allard did. Frankly, I just don't expect that. They have too much weaponry on offense to really keep them down for very long. We saw the Texas defense, had its moments against Ohio State's offense, but it just wasn't enough ultimately because they couldn't do enough on the offensive side of the ball. And Leonard just is not enough of a threat as a passer against this team, I think, and they're not going to be able to run the football well enough to sustain offense the way they were starting to do a little bit against Penn State. There's still some big plays in the passing game that kind of changed that game, but as we said, one of them was when a dude literally just fell down in the middle of the field. Like, it's not even like they got beat. Like, Notre Dame's receiver talent isn't good enough to, in my opinion, to kind of offset the what Ohio State can do defensively against them. And it's just a bad matchup, frankly. Like I said, I just don't think they match up very well.
Yeah. Especially like we saw the way Penn State ran all over Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Ohio State's going to do the exact same thing.
Yeah, they should, at the very least. They have every bit the capability to do so.
yeah, I agree that Ohio State, I think is going to win, but I am taking Notre Dame plus 8.5.
Oh fuck!
Just because Casey, with my luck, me betting on Notre Dame should make you very happy right now.
That's fair.
Well,
but-
we'll see after last weekend.
Yeah.
I don't know. 8.5 is just a lot of points for me.
It is.
I
It
think
is.
Ohio State wins this. I feel pretty comfortable saying that. But, I mean, I've just been wrong about Notre Dame pretty much all season long, especially during the playoff. So I think I bet Indiana, Georgia, and then I did pick Notre Dame against Penn State, but I felt really 50-50 on that one. They've just done enough to obviously advance, but they've made enough big plays when they need to in clutch moments, as we saw late against Penn State. I don't think they win, but I think they are able to muddy it up enough to just keep it, like a 4-point win or something like that. Even a touchdown still covers, so.
It's totally fair.
Oh, I'm also taking the over 46.5.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Just off vibes. I feel like there will be.
I think I'd go to there.
Yeah, I think I'm going to see if it goes down another point or two before I take it, but I doubt it will.
Yeah.
All right. Any other college bets? I know it's one game, but does anyone have any props or anything?
No.
All right. Well, after next Monday, we will see college football in September or August, whenever the first game
And we
is.
will probably see a very happy Casey.
Probably.
We'll have to see next Wednesday. Who knows? I'm not going to.
I will say it'd be very funny if all of our collective teams, all of football,
Uh-oh.
you know what I mean?
Shane, you died.
Yeah.
you're, everything just like it started going really bad, and then you just like left, like we couldn't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Am I moving?
You're good. Yes, we can see you moving.
Cool. I don't know what happened then, but what's the last thing you heard me say?
It would be very funny if.
Oh man, okay. It'd be very funny if all of our teams and all across football all disappointed us in the same season.
Yeah, I don't think it would be that funny though.
I mean, I have nothing to lose anymore. My team's first of all, Wisconsin's technically my college team. Which, what are you supposed to say about that? And then
I always forget you're a Badgers fan.
Yeah, the Steelers, man. We know what they did to me.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway.
I had it so bad this year.
Yeah.
I had a bad college team, but bad FCS is so much worse than bad FBS.
I agree with that.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Bad FCS football is just bad football.
Yeah.
It's just really bad football.
All right. So that's, I guess we'll give a little recap of the game next episode, but that'll be our last bet on college football for the year. Salute to college football season, and we will see you next fall. All right. Let's get on to the divisional round. First game, another Saturday, Texans. We got the Texans at Chiefs. This game, I'm taking Texans. It's an 8.5-point spread. I'm taking Texans plus 8.5. Well, that's what it was when I got it. I don't think they'll win, but I think they will cover 8.5. Chiefs, they're in the playoffs. They're in their ecosystem right now. Somehow, some voodoo magic, they're going to win by 1, 2, or 3 points, something like that. But Texans will cover 8.5.
Yeah, I also am taking the Texans to, I'm sorry, I'm taking the Texans to cover 8.5, but I do not have them winning.
Yeah,
I have them plus 7.5, just because. Yeah, I think they might probably keep it close. I was looking. I think the Chiefs have only won by 8 or more 5 times all year. They haven't really blown a lot of teams out this year. Especially a Texans team that is playing arguably its best football, at least defensively. They're probably playing their best football of the year right now. So yeah, I like the Texans to cover, even though I don't really see any chance that they actually win this game. But
yeah, I'd love to take the Texans. Part of me feels like this is going to be the Chiefs' first of several games in a row where they kind of reestablish that they're the Chiefs. And I feel like they start with a Texans team that is playing well, but is much more flawed than them. And I think they're going to take advantage of that flaw, specifically the offensive line of the Texans, more so than the Chargers could do. And I do have the Chiefs covering minus 8.5. I think they're going to try to kind of set the tone for a playoff run with this game. And the defense for the Texans is good enough to keep the Chiefs' offense within probably 20 to 24 points. But I could see the Texans offense really struggling to get going against the Chiefs defense in the playoffs that is trying to ramp up. that to me is kind of where I get most concerned because Stroud looked better and the offense looked better against the Chargers, and we know how good the Chargers were defensively this year, but it's still like I worry that they can't kind of manufacture enough points to keep it close.
Yeah, I'm taking Texans plus 8.5. I also, with what all you guys saying, I do think the Chiefs will win. This kind of gives me vibes of a game where it's close. Like the Texans are able to keep it close, but we all kind of know the Chiefs are going to win. Kind of like that Chiefs and Jaguars playoff game, like two years ago, where it's like a young team that has potential coming in, and it's close the whole way, but you kind of know the Chiefs are going to win. That's kind of what I think is going to happen here. I just think the Texans are playing really good defensively. Their offense woke up last week, which was a huge thing. And the Chargers defense has been really good this year, so that was nice to see. I think, kind of the same thing with the college game. 8.5 points is just a lot for me. If you could lose by a touchdown and still cover, then I feel comfortable, especially with how the Texans looked on offense last week.
Yeah. Yeah, this would. I don't know. I hate to say it, but until the Chiefs until the Chiefs don't make the Super Bowl or lose, I think they're going to win it every year at this point. So
Yeah.
we'll see how that game goes. But next game, that Saturday night game is an interesting one. I don't think we all saw this coming, but it's the Commanders at Detroit. This one, another huge spread. Dalton, you want to start us off on your pick?
Yeah, so I'm staying away from the spread here, and like money line, I'm not really very crazy about just because the Lions are definitely going to win this game, but the spread's not great. But one thing I feel really good about is over 55.5 at minus 105. I mean, Detroit might put up 40 themselves, and I think you'll get some garbage time points from the Commanders at worst. If they don't end up, and if it is a close game, it's because it's going to be a shootout. There's just no way around it. If this game is close, it's because Jaden Daniels is carving up Detroit's defense. But I don't know. I don't see any way the Commanders win this game.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat in the sense that I don't love the spread, but if I'm picking one, I'm taking Commanders plus 9.5. I think that what Daniels is doing offensively is something that I think the Lions, like really any team, is just going to struggle to really deal with. But I do think the Lions obviously are going to win the game. I think they're just much better across the board as a team. So it does feel like that shootout type of game where like Daniels makes it close in the fourth quarter, but can't seal the deal, and the Lions kind of take the lead at the end and finish them off. But I could see them staying within that 9.5 mark, so I'm going to side on that side of things there.
Yeah, this feels pretty similar to me as the Chiefs and Texans game. I am taking Commanders plus 9.5. It's just a lot of points, especially with how Jaden Daniels has been playing. And the Lions have had a ton of injuries, especially on defense.
Yeah, defensively they're lacking in certain areas, and I feel like it'll be enough to at least give the Commanders a chance to stay in the game for a long time. So.
Yeah. And the Lions' offense will score a lot of points. I love the over too in this game.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think they're gonna lose by like exactly a touchdown.
Yeah, I can see that. I like the over in this one. I am taking the Commanders plus 9.5. I also put, after the Commanders won last week, I put a future on them to win the Super Bowl 21-1. I did it because they're giving me Team of Destiny vibes.
Speaking of Team of Destiny.
Yes.
God,
and I don't know, man. They're giving me the same vibes that the Bengals gave me a few years ago when they went to the Super Bowl. Like, I mean, how many times have we seen the Bucs like run a jet sweep or like do something crazy in the backfield with the receiver? Like, I don't know, that fumble just seemed like a Team of Destiny break that they got in the close to the red zone with that fumble recovery.
I get that.
Like,
Man.
There's also that third down where Baker just like didn't.
It was the center didn't snap the ball at the right time.
Okay, I'm
and
not gonna lie. I was watching. My TV was on mute at that point, and I looked up and I just saw him just sitting there.
Yeah.
for like a
Yeah.
second, and
yeah, I'm like,
was very
dude,
confusing.
so many opportunities for them to win that game, and they did, and it was pretty
Yeah.
crazy. So, yeah.
So I'm going to take I think the Lions defense, when we saw them play last against Minnesota, that was kind of a fluke because Minnesota kind of got exposed again in the playoffs.
Just a little bit.
So
Yeah.
I think the Commanders offensively are going to be better than the Vikings were, and I think they'll give Detroit some fits here. I am taking the spread, but closer to game time, I'm probably going to take money line. It's at 385 right now. So, all right. Yeah. So, next game, we move on to Sunday, 3 o'clock. We have the Rams at Eagles. Who wants to kick us off on this one?
I think I will, because Dalton said something pre-show that I think he's going to make. It's going to be very interesting what he has to say about what I'm about to say.
Okay. We'll wait.
I got Rams.
I
I got Rams money line for this one, guys. This is kind of my upset pick, mostly because what the Rams did last week, this past week to the Vikings. I understand it's Sam Darnold against pressure and all the stuff they did. It felt like they were in control the entire time, and this feels like a team that's clicking at the right moment on offense and defense. Defense specifically is what is getting me interested, because the Eagles' greatest strength is obviously their ability to run the football and their offensive line play. If the Rams can just muddy it up enough in that area with their front four and what they've shown this year with that, I think Hurts can give you a couple mistakes, especially because he's still going to be a little bit rusty. I think they didn't ask much from him last week because they didn't need much of him last week, right? I think if you can get a couple mistakes from him and force him to actually have to play quarterback in this game and win a couple reps in that way, that could be how you get an advantage in this game, and then let Stafford go to work. I know this Eagles defense is awesome. Coverage has been great. If there's any group of receivers, especially the type of receivers they have that can kind of beat, especially the zone-heavy scheme that the Eagles run, it's this team. This team can do that. And Stafford showed last week that if you blitz him, you're out of luck. If you don't blitz him, you're still out of luck. Like, he's playing at a level right now that I think he's capable of putting up points on this Eagles defense, as long as his defense gives him the opportunity to have the ball a couple extra times. And it just feels like they're going to make a run. And what I'm expecting to see here, and part of this I'm betting is because I want to see this happen, admittedly. I want to see a Rams-Lions NFC Championship game, guys. I want that. Like, that's what I want to see.
Yeah.
And that's how you get that. So I'm taking the Rams here to upset the Eagles.
All right, Dalton, go ahead.
I'll let you guys go first. All right. I feel like
All right.
I saw Jake clapping. I think Jake's going to be in agreement here.
I also did take the Rams.
Yeah! You love
Plus
it.
225 is too good. I know the Eagles are a good team. I know they're
No disrespect to the Eagles. I do think they're good.
plus,
Yeah.
plus 225 with how the Rams have been playing for the last 8 weeks. I know that Sam Darnold had a Sam Darnold game, and that was part of the reason they lost. But the Rams just looked dominant in every level of the game against Minnesota. And that's a 14-win team. I mean, they ended the season, I think, playing much better than the Packers did. And the Packers never really felt like they're going to win the game, but they gave the Eagles a decent run. I just think this is going to be too close of a game to have plus 225 odds, honestly. Just with how the Rams are playing, Matthew Stafford looks really good. He looks healthy. Carved the Vikings up. And, Sean McVay and Stafford are a duo that have made a run to the Super Bowl and won a Super Bowl before. So I don't think, the Eagles are definitely a more talented team, but I don't think the Rams should be counted out as a team that can't make a run here, because they are playing very well in pretty much every facet of the game. And the value I just really like. So,
yeah, I took the over on this one, over 44.5, just because I couldn't decide on the spread. I think it was 6.5 at the time when I was looking at it, and that, I don't know. It just seemed too big of a spread for the Eagles to cover in this game, but it seemed like a trap for the Rams. Like, why are they getting that many points? So I just erred on the side of caution. I'm taking the over-under on this one, and I'm going over 44.5. All right, Dalton. Let's hear it.
All right.
Let us know.
I got Eagles
why
minus
we're down.
6.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Eagles minus 6. I got it minus 110. And my big reason for it is just Saquon Barkley. That's what it really comes down to. He had a huge game last time they played. And I think looking at what happened to the Vikings both last week and in the Detroit game, because I think similar things happened looking at it. I mean, I think the Vikings offensive line got exposed more than anything else. Yeah. I think rather than Sam Darnold, I think it was the fact that it was clear that they were protecting the offensive line with a lot of different protections, and both the Lions and the Rams found ways around that, the way they mixed things up, and that's what really threw Darnold off. But also, Minnesota could not run the ball at all. Those are things that aren't going to happen with the Eagles. The Eagles' offensive line is very, very good, and it is a very well-disciplined, well-coached unit. Very consistent. They will make their blocks. Jared Verse is not going to just dominate Philadelphia's tackles. And I think Barkley's going to get some space to run, and I just think that's going to be the biggest thing. You have the second-ranked rushing offense in the NFL against the 22nd run defense in the NFL. That's just an issue for me, especially when on the other side of the ball, as well as the Rams are playing, like I don't see him scoring much more than 20 against the Eagles. I mean, I think getting to 20 is going to be tough just because of how good defensively the Eagles have been this year, especially with the fact that the Rams are kind of one-dimensional. I mean, they have some backs, but I don't know if they're going to be able to run the ball super well against Philadelphia. So I think if they're stuck just throwing the ball in a shortened game, the way the Eagles control the ball with the run, I just don't see a path for this game being very close.
Yeah, those are all valid.
Yeah.
I get that. The Eagles are a good team.
Yeah,
and Saquon Barkley is kind of all you need to say, really.
Yeah, I can't really argue too much with that.
Yeah. I'll never forget that clip of Giants front office just being like, I really hope he doesn't get traded or signed in division. And then the Eagles just picked him up
immediately.
Isn't it so annoying though how he could have been there for the last 5 years?
Yeah. It just I don't know. But yeah, I honestly I think the Eagles win this game. I don't know.
Yeah. And I should be fair, I am biased because I do have an Eagle Super Bowl future. Beginning of the season. So I do have that bias, but I do think that they're legit going to win this.
Yeah.
They should. They should. I feel like this is going to be the game that I feel like the Rams kind of use here at the end of the day, typically in games like this where I feel like the Rams are playing well enough to make this a closer game than people think, and also the Eagles are coming off a game where they didn't really have to do too much against the Packers. If you have the coaching advantage and you have the quarterback advantage, I'm probably going to pick you. And I think they have both of those in this case. So that's ultimately where it comes from. Barkley, is he going to have 255 yards again? I don't think so. He might have 155, and that might be enough. Yeah. But I don't think he's going to have the, literally best game of his career again. I just don't know if I can bank on that happening. So, but he could. Yeah. Hey, if he does, good for him. I'm going to like it still. It's going to be cool to watch. So,
I'm also a big Kyren Williams fan.
Oh yeah, you have to be.
I think he's gonna have a big game.
Yeah.
The Rams, I would say they're definitely better at passing the ball right now, but I do think they can come out even on the ground and in there. I really like Kyren Williams.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see. But lastly, we're gonna end with what should be the best game of the weekend, or it's setting up to be the best game of the weekend.
Yeah.
6:30 Eastern, which is weird. On a Sunday, it's going to be odd for the game to get over at 9 for us instead of 11.
Hey, you got to get in bed to go to work, right? For some of us, at least.
Yeah. So, but we had the Ravens at
3-day weekend.
Oh no, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, not
damn.
everyone's off, but
Should have had it 11 o'clock. That no, I was kidding.
yeah. But Ravens at Bills. Jake, let's go ahead and let you start this one. What do you got for this game?
All right. I got Ravens -1.5. This is kind of another game where I'm a little bit on the fence because, I mean, these are... If the Chiefs didn't exist, these would be... I mean, they are the best two teams in the AFC besides the Chiefs. This can be a really fun game. Two MVP candidates going at it. I just think the Ravens defense right now is playing too well. Over the second half of the season, and as we saw against the Steelers last week, I mean, their defense is just dominating. The Steelers really can't stop anything on the ground, but, I mean, both Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson were dominating on the ground. I just think they're playing a little better than the Bills, but I don't know. The Bills are a really good team also. I just think the way the Ravens are playing defense right now is what really gives them the edge to me.
Yeah.
And
well,
I don't,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry, something about the Ravens. This just gives me the vibe. I know the Chiefs are going to end up winning the Super Bowl anyway, but I just have a feeling about the Ravens. Like, this is the year that Lamar is finally going to take that next step. I can't really explain that. I just have that vibe. But
no, I get it. And like, these two teams have had fan bases that have suffered with just like early exits in the play. Well, besides the Bills. The Bills were in the AFC Championship a few years ago, but they've digressed every year since then. So both these fan bases are looking forward to moving on. But this is a toss-up game, and I'm taking the home team at +100, so I'm taking the Bills' money line on this one. I don't know who's going to win this game. I couldn't tell you, honestly, but I think I'm going to take the home team on this one. I think this is going to be an entertaining game. I think defense goes out the window on this one, and we're just going to see two guys battling it. Like I picture in my mind just Lamar and Josh just like, this is about us tonight. And then they just like battle to the death. And we just crown MVP in the post game. But I'm taking Buffalo Bills money line this week.
That's fair. I get the reasoning there.
Yeah.
So I'm also taking Ravens -1.5 this week. And my reasoning is kind of similar to Jake's. I just think that the quarterbacks are pretty even, especially the way they're playing right now. But I think the Ravens just have more from a talent perspective. I think their defense is a little bit better. And I think they have a little bit more on offense, especially in the run game. I just think that Derrick Henry is a big X factor in this game. I think, especially like in a game where weather's probably going to be terrible, you're going to need to be able to run the ball, and I just think Derrick Henry just provide like having that kind of a weapon at running back. I think is really going to be a big difference in this game, and I think the Ravens just pull it out. But I do think I think the winner of this game is probably going to the Super Bowl. To be honest, I don't think the Chiefs are beating either of these teams. And full disclosure, I did have a Ravens future. I have Ravens winning games. So there is a little bit of bias there.
Bell's got all the futures.
Sounds like I'm picking the future right now.
Hey, first episode of the season, I said Eagles over Ravens in the Super Bowl.
You did say it.
Yeah.
You did say it.
Feeling pretty good, but in all seriousness, I do think like the Ravens just have a little bit more in terms of talent around Lamar. I think is going to be a difference.
Yeah. Do you know what you have your futures at, or can you look it up while?
Yeah, while Shane's talking, I'll look it up.
Yeah, he doesn't need to hear what I'm saying. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, so, as someone who just watched this Ravens team and what they're capable of against their team, I am taking the Ravens -1.5. And specifically, I think this is the story of the Ravens this year, in my opinion, is the only thing stopping them is themselves. If they don't make stupid mistakes and they don't lose who they are offensively, which is a team that has maybe the most dynamic running threat as a whole for a team that we've ever seen, and they don't forget that about themselves, and then they complement that with what Lamar has become as a passer, I legitimately don't think there's a team in the league that can touch them. That's kind of where I'm at with them at this point. When they are playing their game, and Henry is running hard, and Lamar is making smart decisions as both a passer and in the read option game, there's nothing a defense can do to stop that, in my opinion, right now. And as long as they play that way against the Bills, which they've already shown they can do once this year, I don't think it matters where this game is played. I don't think it matters how good Josh Allen plays in this game. If those two are playing at the level that they've played at, there's nothing the Bills can do about it. That's why I'm ultimately picking them. Because you look at what Henry's done this year, and you could say, like, oh, well, you know, as far as the MVP debate goes, right? Like, oh, you look at what they did for Lamar. They got Derrick Henry. Derrick, as great as he is, he averaged 4 yards a carry last year on a bad Titans team. He has never been this efficient at any point in his career. And there's a reason why he's so efficient. It's because he's playing with Lamar Jackson. And there's a reason why Lamar is so efficient as a runner and pass this year. It's because he's playing, like, they play off of each other. This is a symbiotic situation. That is ultimately, I think, the difference in this game between teams that are similarly talented overall. Give me the most dynamic rushing threat in the history of the sport is a duo. I'm taking that every time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I get it. So you have your odds on these?
Yes, I did find them. So I had Eagles to win the NFC at plus 600. I put 10 on that. So that pays at $70. Ravens to win the AFC at plus 550. I put 10 on that. And then I have the Eagles to win the Super Bowl at plus 1,500. I put 10 on that.
Okay.
So I have a shot for
a couple $100, right?
almost 300.
That's pretty good.
Paydays, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
What would have been really good is if I don't think they had it. I wish I could have done Eagles-Ravens, Eagles to beat Ravens in Super Bowl back then.
That'd
That
have
would
been
probably
even
been
more.
that'd have
Yeah.
been the one.
Oh, yeah.
You might be able to get it now. I just don't know what.
There's like you can look
Yeah.
up like hypothetical games on
Yeah.
FanDuel.
Yeah. But yeah, so all right. That's that. I mean, it's sad, but that's the end of that for college football and for the NFL as far as divisional round. Do you guys have any parlays? Sorry, before we end the show.
Yeah,
And we
I do have a money line parlay.
Okay.
So I just took all 4 winners money line. So I got Chiefs money line, Lions money line, Eagles money line, and Ravens money line at plus 284. So it's all the favorites, but if all the favorites win, pays out at a nice 284, which we had a lot of chalk in the first round, at least in terms of the higher seed winning. So I think we're going to see a lot more of that this week.
Yeah.
No.
No.
No, I'm just kidding. Hopefully it should be. I'm just hoping for a fun divisional round because now I don't have to care. You know? Now I can just be like, hey, let's watch good football.
Yeah.
Because I don't have to watch bad football at least for a while. You know, we'll see.
For all I know, there's not even a football team in San Francisco.
So, right, yeah. As far as you're concerned, I mean,
yeah, there's only 8
Technically,
teams.
you'd be right.
I'm going to go.
Oh, yeah,
Santa
To me,
Clara.
I was gonna say to me, there's no teams in Santa Clara. There's only 8 teams. All right, so let's go ahead and get into everyone's favorite segment, the most profitable segment we have.
Yeah, sure.
That's our touchdown parlay. Don't have many guys to choose from, so you'd think it might be easier.
Wrong.
For us, but hey, we'll show you how we're gonna fuck that up for you. But I'm gonna start us off. I have Joe Mixon plus 140. I like this one just because if the Texans do score, I think Joe Mixon is the most likely target to get in for them. They look great last week against Chargers team that obviously was just looking to give the ball away at any moment. So I know that kind of tired their defense out, and we got to see the Texans offense take advantage of that. But I'm taking Joe Mixon plus 140.
Like it. I'm taking Saquon at minus 170 because duh. So,
incoming 3 Jalen Hurts push touchdowns.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's exactly how that works.
Hurts is gonna go like 11 for 14 for 87 yards, no touchdowns, and he's gonna have like 12 carries for 14 yards and 3 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah.
But there haven't been as many tush pushes, I don't think, this year. I think it's
not as
gone
many.
down since Jason Kelsey retired. I feel like the tush push has gotten nerfed a little bit. With him, it was a cheat code.
And nerfed. And I think that
put a patch on that one, got him out of the game.
Yeah.
What are you gonna say, Casey?
Yeah.
His aim down sight speed's too quick on that
Yeah,
one.
It's not OP anymore.
Yeah.
No,
But
no.
I don't even know what I was gonna say. Oh, nope, I forgot it. Never mind.
All right, well, it's to the ether now.
Yeah.
I got maybe the chalkiest pick I've made all season, Terry McLaurin at plus 130. Commanders got to score points to stay in the game, and I think they're going to do that. So, got to throw some touchdowns. It's probably going to be a Terry McLaurin, which means it'll be like Luke McCaffrey or something instead, probably. But whatever. Zach Ertz. Yeah, no. But yeah, I do think McLaurin will get in the end zone at least once. He's obviously the number one target there. Side note, who I wanted to pick, but I decided against it because I didn't want to be yelled at, was Sion Vaki of the Lions, who Dalton didn't even know was a real person, and I don't blame him that much for that.
Still not convinced.
Listen, he's a person. Not only is he a person, he's a cool dude. Hey.
How exactly would you have imagined him scoring?
Well, he is a safety / running back, so he could score as a running back potentially.
Or if
Maybe they play him in those situations.
He's out there sometimes, occasionally. He's been out.
He is on there plus 1,300.
Yeah, he's there. Brock Wright and him have the same chances to score apparently. And you've probably heard of that guy, right? He's third tight end, I think. Second tight end? I don't know.
He's got better chances of scoring than Luke McCaffrey.
Right. So hey. There you go.
It's hilarious when that's the only person.
I know that's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna be like, guys, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I can't believe Luke McCaffrey's still in the league.
He's only a rookie, so how couldn't he's?
Wait. I might be thinking of a different McCaffrey.
Yeah, Christian Dylan McCaffrey was a quarterback sort of.
Was there a Luke McCaffrey on the Raiders at one point?
I don't know. Probably.
I don't know.
Maybe for like a training camp or something.
Is this Luke McCaffrey also a McCaffrey? Like,
yeah, he's his brother. Yeah, he's his brother. He was a rookie out of Rice this year.
Dalton's mind.
Dalton's like, I don't think any players. I don't believe any of these guys are.
The NFL's not real. He's gonna find out he was like fake betting this whole time.
Dalton's gonna be like, who the hell are these people?
It's like the plot to A Beautiful Mind right now.
Oh, I think the Raiders had Max McCaffrey. Maybe.
Max McCaffrey. Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right. One of them. One of those guys.
Yeah.
Another
out of Duke. That's right.
You're probably right about that one.
There's so many of them.
All right, Jake, did you give your pick yet?
I'm taking Lamar plus 160. That feels pretty good. This game should just decide the MVP.
Yeah.
But I think we see a good performance from Lamar.
Yeah.
And I think he runs the ball a lot.
Sure did against the Steelers, god damn it.
Yeah. So if you take that again, once again, we have Mixon, Scary Terry, McLaurin, Saquon, and Lamar Jackson at plus 2,390. Great odds on 4 guys at knock on wood. Not even going to say it. Anyways, plus 2,390 on that touchdown parlay. We're getting close to football being over, boys. So,
I might have to interact with my family.
Yeah.
We're getting back to betting on golf season.
Oh my God!
Before you know it, it's going to be golf. And
baseball, and then we're going to be like, oh, can we bet who we betting on the UFL or the CFL?
I almost tried to bet the simulator event they were doing last night.
Oh, sorry, what simulator event?
They were like Tiger and like all like the big names were like one team. They would hit their first tee shot on like a golf simulator, and then when it was like around the green, they'd like chip onto the green, and then it was weird.
I know what you're talking about. It's actually kind of cool how they're doing it, but I get it.
My fiance thought it was the dumbest thing because we were sitting in a bar for trivia night watching it, and it was she thought it was the dumbest
Yeah.
thing.
You know, I want to do trivia night at some point, but I don't have anything around me that does that.
You know what? We could do a trivia night on here when the football ends.
Hey, you know what? We're not going to be doing anything else.
Yeah.
No,
Some night in the middle of June when there's fucking nothing.
When
except
there's
baseball.
nothing, yeah.
No,
There's like the
We gotta
White
find a way to
Sox
let
on
people in the audience bet on it.
yes,
Yes.
that's how you have
Yeah.
to do it.
Alright.
By the way, I just want to throw this out there. If you were to change the pick that I made of McLaurin to what I actually wanted to do, the odds would be plus 15,000. So if you want to go a little bit more bold, you can put some money on that.
You want to put some big boy pants on.
$5 get you $750. Get out of here. Anyway, just want to throw that out there.
Yeah.
That's
so-
diabolical.
Yeah.
It truly is. Yeah, it's stupid.
I will say though, when the Rams and Vikings game, me and my buddy Chris, we put in a bet for both quarterbacks to get a rushing touchdown, and it was like plus 15,000.
Yeah.
And it was just, I was like, this is going to happen tonight. It wasn't even close at any point.
No.
But
Bernard was running for his life more than he was for touchdowns.
yeah,
That way.
but all right, so that's it. Next week when we have the show, we'll see who won the college football national championship, and unfortunately, we'll be done betting on college football for the season, and then we'll get into the AFC NFC championship. I don't think there's anything to bet on in the Pro Bowl or anything like that. So
Who's gonna get the most knockouts in dodgeball, whatever the fuck?
Yeah.
they play?
Oh, I'm
I don't know.
definitely.
I don't know what the hell they play anymore in that.
yeah,
Anyone watch the Pro Bowl the last 2 years?
I don't know. I
I-
won't watch it until they bring back the quarterback skills challenge, like
Dude,
the old
yes.
school one.
This, especially like, when has it ever been more like a good idea than now with all
Yes.
these fucking freaks running around?
yeah.
Quarterback. What are we talking about? I want to see Josh Allen throw the ball 90 yards. I want to put Joe Milton
Yeah.
in there. I don't care.
Yeah.
Let him
Oh,
get that too.
okay, yeah. All right.
Joe
Will
Milton,
get a
Will
Pro Bowl
Levis,
vote.
Anthony
That's what
Richardson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say.
That's what we need.
And whoever wins gets to be the starting quarterback of the Raiders next year.
Yeah.
Don't you
If
put that
you-
evil on there?
Teams have to submit quarterbacks to
Yeah.
do it, and whoever wins has to go play the Raiders. The Raiders are the only ones who don't have to put a quarterback in.
Basically, if you play
The
quarterback,
Raiders put Carter Bradley in there.
Yeah, they have to.
Yeah.
For Carter, he wins too, and then he
Yeah.
Carter Bradley just comes back.
wins. Anyway, no.
All right,
I'd
so-
watch that.
yeah, I would too. But that's episode 70. We appreciate you guys watching tonight. Let us know if you follow any of our bets. Let us know if there's any bets we should be looking at for this weekend. But good luck to you.